Let me introduce Sister Alexia also. We are so fortunate to have senior Sister Alexia in this Sadan, who was not only pioneer in Shanti Avedna Sadan in patient care since then. Thank you very much, Sister Alexia, and thank you, sir. The name synonymous with palliative care. Let me request Ms. Lelita, the staff member of this Sadan, to honor Dr. Rakesh Gaur. Please, ma'am, on the desk.
Best moment of my life, sir. This is the best moment.
Respected dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to this pleasant evening section of Familiarizing Hospice Care by none other than our Dr. DeSouza, our respected founder and managing trustee of Shanti Avedna, Bombay, Goa and Delhi. It was he who has introduced the hospice care mission to the Indian scenario way before even the concept of palliative care started in this country. His dedication, determination and relentless efforts have gone a long way in alleviating the pain, sufferings, psychosocial and medical issues of the terminally ill cancer patients. At the same time, being an eminent surgical oncologist and a consultant to many premier medical institutions, his golden touch is still working wonders of cure in the lives of innumerable cancer patients. Sir, we are really as our mentor and to hear from you today. Let me welcome you, sir. This is going to be a wonderful section with the delivery of your experience, sharing the discussion with this august audience. Talking about Shanti Avedna in Delhi, with 36 beds in the heart of this city and having AIMS, Sadan Hospital and Trauma Care Center as immediate neighbors, is relatively a small center while Shanti Avedna of Bombay is having 100 beds. However, Delhi is being the national capital of territory. Every mission and initiative germinates here, precorrelates to the length and breadth of our vast, great country, and hence our role is also more significant. We had to face, like any other institutions, many ups and downs, including pandemic, corona and resulting limitations and problems in the past, and that too immediately after the completion of the Silver Jubilee of Shanti Avedna Sadan Delhi. With this timely guidance and great leadership of Dr. DeSouza, sincere concern, efforts of all our staff, extended by the hospitals, palliative care organizations, our benefactors, and above all, our patients and their families, we managed every situation and ensured our patients do not suffer unduly. We moved forward from the deserted city situations then back to the bursting, overcrowded streets and markets now. It is the commitment of all of you, the shareholders of this mission of improving the quality of life of the suffering patients, which has brought you here to participate in today's event. Carrying out further discussions on the topic and bringing out the inference of way forward in the interest of every debilitating patient. So without taking the names of each and every one of you, let me extend a hearty welcome to all of you, the respected dignitaries to this section. Let me also request Dr. DeSouza sir to preside over the program. Thank you very much.
One question. How many of you think that cancer can be cured? Just put your hand up. Nobody, please.
No, I do feel, but partially.
Yes. Well, there are some with good faith, and I hope your faith is realized. But after 50 years of looking after cancer patients, I have come to the conclusion that to cure cancer is rather very, very difficult, if not impossible. And why do I say that? For three reasons. If you tell anybody that you are cured or I can cure you of cancer, three conditions have to be fulfilled. One is, have you removed the cause? Second is, are you sure that you have removed every last cancer cell in the body? Third, are you going to call the patient for follow-up, or you don't ever want to see the patient because he's cured? And to all these three questions, the answer is no. So, it is wrong on my part, or I can cure you, because they do not know. And they give false security to the patient. Just before coming, I saw a patient with a huge LBC of the breast, like a locally advanced cancer of the breast. And I asked her, why have you waited 4 months? And she said, I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, I will cure you 100%. And I asked her only one question. Is the doctor God? Does he know? Or he's talking to his hat? So, don't despair. If we can't cure cancer, it's okay. We will still one day hopefully do that. But we can control cancer. Control means with good treatment, you can keep the cancer under control so that he lives a normal life, and if his life is long enough, you can equate it to a cure. But I can't. I can show it you are well controlled. Unfortunately, in our day and age, that control comes to an end. At some stage, we have nothing to offer the patient as far as active treatment is concerned. And that is where palliative care comes in. That is where we can use palliative care to help a person, because that person is still a normal human being in body, mind, and soul. And he requires to be relieved of his suffering. And that is the status of palliative care today, to make the patient comfortable, relieve the patient's suffering, and put the patient at peace. I have been treating for palliative care. I've been a surgeon for 50 years and palliative care for 42 years. In this period, I have learned a lot of things from the patients. So what I share with you today is not what is in the books that you can read. It is what I have experienced from the patients, first-hand experience, and I will give you case histories to prove that experience. The first question is, I am often asked, Doctor, why did you do palliative care? And the answer to that is very difficult. But I did palliative care because when I was a young surgeon in Dhaka Memorial, in early, just I was about 30-something odd years of age, and these patients in the ward who are terminally ill used to come to my office and cry, don't send me home. I have no home. I am living in one room with 5 people or 10 people. I have no food. I have no medication. I have nobody to do my dressings, and I am in pain. How can you help me? And I had to break my heart and send them home. That day I decided that we must do something about this. And so when I went abroad to St. Christopher's for my fellowship examination, I saw what they are doing at St. Christopher's is the finest hospice in the world today. And I saw what they were doing, how they were relieving the patients. And I made up my mind that one day we will have a hospice in India. Today it is a fact. There are three main reasons. Why I took up palliative care. Each one by an incident which really has lived with me all these years. The first was I had just finished my MBBS and I was started my first job, surgical job at JJ Hospital. In one of my wards, there was a terminally ill patient, poor patient, and he was lingering in that ward. Till one day, the registrar told me, Doctor, I don't want to see that patient tomorrow in this ward. You do something and I will remove because I need that bed for my active treatment patient. What do I do? I called the ward boy. He put him on a trolley, took him outside the hospital gate and dumped him on the road. Next morning, when I came, I saw him outside the road, covered with flies, rats, cockroaches, and miserable to the end limit. And I could do nothing. That day I decided, someday we will have a place for such people so that they don't suffer like this man. Today, after 36 years, we have 3 Sadans, Bombay, Delhi and Goa, with a capacity of more than 150 beds, which makes it the largest hospice not only in India but in the world. And I thank the good Lord. I thank the good Lord for all that He has done for Shanti, Avedna and Sadan. The second point is to relieve pain. And that lesson was taught to me by my boss, my first boss, Dr. Ernest Borges. I don't know if you've heard of him, very famous surgeon in Dhaka Hospital. I was his last house surgeon before he died. And I had just finished my MBBS course. And I was asked to look after him in the night, to watch over him in the night. And what I learned was, he used to jump up in pain. Suddenly the breakthrough pain used to come through, and he used to say, tell them to give me something more, some more medication. And my big bosses did, what they gave him was 25 milligrams of petidine. Morphine was not available, and that was a pediatric dose for the pain control, and he suffered. And that day, that no patient will suffer pain as far as I can help it. And that is the reason we have got morphine today. Thanks be to God. We were struggling in the initial years, but today morphine is freely available, but not so freely in all places, but it is still available. And my instructions to the doctors are 3 when using morphine. First, earlier than later, Give morphine earlier than later. Don't wait till the pain is unbearable. Start when they are showing signs of unbearable pain. Start morphine, don't delay. First, don't delay in treatment. Second, evaluate how much is required and monitor it. Because pain changes from day to day, the pain changes, become worse, as the disease progresses, the pain becomes worse, and therefore you have to strictly monitor the dose of morphine. And the third is, do not worry about the dose. Give as much as is necessary to control the pain. My favorite question in all examinations is, what is the maximum dose of morphine that you can give a patient? You know, normal dose is 15-20 milligrams. We have given patients doses of 2 to 3 grams. So the answer is, there is no limit to the dose of morphine. Morphine is given as much as is needed. So these are the 3 factors. There are some misconceptions about morphine. I too long to, but mainly people are worried it will create addiction. What is the use of addiction? Morphine used to control pain does not create addiction. You can withdraw it any time and they will not have withdrawal symptoms. So it is not addictive. It causes a little drowsiness which passes off in due time. And it is in the hospice setting. Without morphine, you cannot control pain. So, morphine is very, very essential to get for a hospice treatment. Now, to give you a brief, bird's eye view of palliative care in the time that I am given, I am going to ask, and what the question is, why I have told you what I started. When, how, where, and who should be giving this care is what I am going to explain to you very, very briefly. First question is, when do we start palliative care? You will be surprised if I tell you that palliative care starts on day 1 when you see the patient. Day 1. Because 75% of our patients are in stage 4, that is the advanced stage of cancer. And so whatever treatment we are going to giving is palliative from day 1. Second question is, when do you start the treatment of palliative care? Palliative care treatment is started as soon as the patient is seen, to the first very time. It must go side by side with active treatment. But how is palliative care given? In 2 ways. First, it is given by medication.
Thanks to Shanti Avedna. This is because of Shanti Avedna Sadan that now Delhi State Cancer Institute has finally agreed to open a ward and hospice care for palliative care cases. I tell you in 1 minute, when I joined the institute, on 70 beds, 90% beds were occupied by the patients who were there for a month and 2 months on oxygen and some kind of supportive care. The curative care patients used to wait. I started sending them to Shanti Avedna Sadan. But what happened? The news, because a lot of patients were through the secretary, through the minister, through the undersecretary. So they started complaining that, look at that, he is not allowing. So one day this secretary health who sent me to the Delhi State Cancer Institute and the undersecretary, special secretary came. He said, the patients are still being refused treatment. I said, sir, we have to draw a line. Beyond this, chemotherapy, radiotherapy will not be done. If you want treatment, create a palliative care home or hospice. Otherwise, I will keep sending the cases to what is Shanti Avedna, sir? I said, sir, this is a palliative care home. So now they have decided, I have already discussed the matter with Dr. Sushma Bhatnagar, for the first time in the history of Delhi State Cancer Institute, the anesthetist, chief anesthetist has been given to senior residents who are basically radiotherapists for the palliative care, and they are going to open a hospice care ward. But this is not enough. Sir, your mission is incomplete for as far as Delhi is concerned. I wish